So what I wanted to do today was to see if we can get to a point where we actually take these terms, killer app, smart grid, and put some definition around it so that you walk out of here with a more concrete thought as to some of the real opportunities available now in smart grid development and applications on top of the smart grid that I believe have a real potential to save money for end-use consumers and to make our electricity consumption infrastructure much more efficient. What does a smart grid mean? A lot of people think of it as smart meters. Is it a smart meter? Is that what constitutes the smart grid? And I think that's part of it. I think that is an element of the smart grid. There's also the distribution system, the transmission system. There's generation, sort of traditional generation, as well as new renewable generation. On-site generation, whether, again, it's renewable or the more traditional types of on-site generation. Storage. All sorts of different end uses, whether you're in an industrial environment, residential, commercial, and overlaying all of this, a network that allows each of these elements of this grid to speak to one another. Smart grid killer applications are services and products that first provide value to business and consumers. I think it's important that they do both. Are enabled by smart grid monitoring and data infrastructures. And in turn, the fact that these applications or these products and services deliver this value over the infrastructure, the smart grid monitoring and data infrastructures, in turn drives rapid development of those infrastructure, the elements of that infrastructure. The top 10% of the kilowatt hours consumed throughout the course of the year, the top 10% of demand, occurs during only 1% of the hours out of the year. Another way of saying that is if there were 10 power plants powering the entire country, one of those power plants would be shut off 99% of the hours out of the year. Not surprisingly, the power generated by that plant is pretty darn expensive because you still had to build it, you still have to build all the infrastructure around it, but you only get to use it 1% of the hours out of the year. So with demand response, the utility can go to end-use customers and have them reduce demand targeted around those peak days when you're at the high end of that spectrum there, and have them reduce demand so that you actually don't have to have that last power plant available to turn on. You get to save a lot of money on the grid, and of course the overall operating costs of providing power to customers goes down.